In this video, we're going to talk about how to stay longer abroad so that you can accomplish more. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bert, and I'm making videos about study abroad and student life. There will be timestamps in the description section and the pinned comments and over here, of course, so feel free to skip around the video if you feel like it and if you don't have time. So before we get into the content, I just want to make sure that I am making this video based on the assumption that you're studying abroad or you're at least interested in studying abroad. So I'm just telling you my tips and tricks to be able to stay longer abroad so that you can accomplish more. So let's just get into it. So let's firstly talk about why it's important and it could be practical to stay longer abroad or sustain longer abroad. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going back home and relax and spending time with your family and friends in your home country. But I'm just saying that it is not the easiest thing. When you have a schedule, when you're in college, it's not the easiest thing to go back home very, very often. Firstly, going back home very often could be a financially burden to you, especially as a student, because for most of us, it is hard for us to afford a flight ticket very often, maybe at least once a year or twice a year or something like that. But probably not more than that, because if you're studying abroad, thousands of miles away from your home country, it's going to be $600, $700 just one-way ticket. So it could be financially burdened for students. It is ultimately all about making the best out of your experience abroad. So this is my third episode in the Study Abroad series. And in every episode, I said, let's make the best out of your experience abroad. That's probably your goal, right? You want to make the best out of your experience, to learn something. In that sense, it's about not missing the opportunity. So it could be tip from my personal experience, because the biggest regret from my college experience abroad is that I went back home during my first summer break. It was after my freshman year ended, and I decided to go back home, South Korea, and then relaxed and did really nothing. But I wasn't really thinking much about my career at the time. Of course, I was 18 or 19. I think I could have taken a class or two. I mean, I talked about this in my college regret video where I talked about 10 different things I would do differently if I could go back to college. There's a link up there. You could go check it out if you're interested. Also, when we go back home after working hard abroad, we tend to get very, very comfortable. I guess it's just me, or for some of you as well. I think I'm pretty lazy. If I'm in a comfortable environment, I get lazier. And also, to be able to stay or sustain longer abroad is also a skill. I mean, only if you're studying abroad or work abroad. Or for those of you who are not studying abroad or working abroad, I mean, at some point in your life, if you're watching this video because you're probably watching this video because you're interested in studying or working abroad. At some point in your life, you will be working abroad or studying abroad. So it could be a great skill. And I think it's totally a skill that you can develop by training or by experience that keeps you sane while you're abroad and helps you accomplish more and have a fulfilling life. That if you get homesick or if you get burned out because you're in a uncomfortable situation, or you're getting tired of making foreign friends or adjusting to the culture or food, that kind of stuff, it could affect you severely with work life and study life, student life, very much. So these are the reasons why it is very important to be able to sustain longer abroad. So how are we going to sustain or stay longer abroad? And here are a few tips from my own experiences. The first thing you could do is to lengthen your stay gradually. What I mean by that is that if you are going to college, 4 years of college abroad, you could finish a semester abroad and then come back home and relax, recharge, spend time with your family. And then when you go back next semester, you could stay another semester, hence for 2 semesters, and you come back home. And maybe when you go back this time, you could stay a year and a half or 2 years. Yeah, basically tackling this issue as gradually as possible. And the second thing you could do to be able to sustain or stay longer abroad, not letting yourself get bored and stay curious. Because I totally believe that you could do as cool things and as interesting things abroad as you're in your home country. For example, you could join any society, or you could participate in a field trip or volunteer opportunities during spring break or study away programs. Yeah, anything. So don't let yourself get bored and stay curious and stay connected, because I think if you get yourself bored it's going to trigger homesickness. Like if you have nothing else to do other than, schoolwork or something, you're going to think a lot about your life back home. Oh, how wonderful would it be to spend this weekend with my friends and family? Oh, and what is my best friend doing? Yeah, so it gets really easier for you to think about these things when you get bored. Yeah, so it is basically a way to tell yourself that you can totally live a good life abroad, and it could be fulfilling as well. And it's going to further motivate you to be able to stay longer next time you come back abroad. Yeah, so try to have a lot of fun, like join the society and join the clubs and be an athlete and try to study with your friends, try this restaurant and go on a field trip and going on a volunteer during your spring break. It's not like to force yourself to stay longer abroad, but just try to genuinely have fun. And next thing is going to be the most important thing, I think, to tackle, which is to self-care to avoid burnout abroad. I think it is important because when you get burned out abroad, it is going to be harder to deal with because you are farther away from everything that you are attached to or you love. For example, like things, books that you're attached to, and your friends and family, stuff like that. Everything. You're just farther away from everything. So getting burned out is going to be the last thing you want to face. So it is very important to, take care of yourself to avoid this burnout. So how should we do that? So first thing you could do is to exercise consistently. So I think here, consistency is much more important than intensity. Don't force yourself to work out like 2 hours a day or something because it is never sustainable. You won't be able to do it every day because you have other things going on. Rather, you could do like 10 minutes of running every morning or something. That's going to keep not only your cardiovascular system healthy, but also your brain as well, hence your mental health. And also avoid too much sugar because you're going to get into a dopamine addiction or something, and that could also lead to a burnout. And also keep a journal or log. Basically document your journey like I'm doing right now. You don't have to film a video and then spend 10 hours editing your video, but just keeping a journal. If you have an issue and if you detect a pattern, it's going to be easier for you to deal with when you face the same issue in the future because we learn from patterns as human beings. Yeah, another way to take care of your mental health is to use free counseling service at your college. Because if you're at college or probably high school and grad school, free counseling services for students are always available. I think when I was up to my junior year, I was disregarding this counseling service because I had never tried this simply. I finally took the plunge into talking to a counselor when I was in senior year in college because that was after I got totally burned out in my junior year. Yeah, I just decided to talk about my feelings. And it was really, really good. And I decided to do that during my master program as well. I mean, during the last 6 months, I decided to do that. Yeah, so it could be very, very good to use the counseling service. Take advantage of it because it's free, and then college is there for you to help you accomplish more and take care of yourself and learn to take care of yourself more importantly. Yeah, so that was pretty much it that I want to talk about how to stay or sustain longer yourself abroad. And I hope you found something valuable from this video. And if you enjoyed this video, please check out this video, which is my formal episode in the Study Abroad series, if you haven't checked it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully. Bye-bye.